Welcome to Brilliantly British. My name is Lawrence, and on today's episode, the second episode, I've got something special for you, but also something really, really simple, something you could make at home. You just come in from work or you're a student, you could come and make this yourselves. We've got jacket potatoes. If you've never heard of this before, welcome to this amazing experience of, British cuisine. And today we're going to make it in 3 different ways. We're going to make it with tuna, egg mayonnaise, and baked beans topped with cheddar cheese. Which one of these is my favorite? We'll see at the end. Stay tuned. So we're going to make this dish in 3 different ways. We're going to go for baked beans and cheese, we're going to go for tuna mayonnaise, and we're going to go for egg mayonnaise with some chives. The baked beans and cheddar cheese is the easiest way of making this dish, and the 2 other ways are slightly more complicated. But overall, this is a very, very, very easy dish to make. Very cheap as well. I mean, it's centered around the humble potato. So, I wasn't able to get hold of the massive potatoes that us in the UK will know of, but as long as the potatoes are a relative size, like so, then it should be fine. They'll cook even quicker, but if you can get hold of the proper British baking potatoes, go for it. Salt and pepper, of course, will always be needed, and some butter. I'll show you what we'll use the butter for as we go through this dish. So, first and foremost, we're going to prepare the potatoes. You'll simply need to get yourself a fork. It's as simple as that. Now, I've already washed these potatoes, but definitely wash them before putting them into the oven and prepping them like we are now. And just prick them with the fork all over. What we're doing now is just creating holes for steam to escape through when we put these potatoes, whole as they are, into the oven, baked with the skins on. While the potatoes are cooking away in the oven, we're actually going to get along with the other things that we need to prepare to make jacket potatoes. And in this case, it does make sense to get on with boiling the eggs, because that's how we're going to cook them. We're going to hard boil them. Now, we're just going to pan over there. On a rolling boil, cook the room temperature eggs for 7 minutes. Once the eggs are cooked, run them under a cold tap until cool enough to handle and peel. Our eggs are cooked. And now what we're going to do, we're going to slice them up, mix them in with some mayonnaise. I'm going to take this a step further because it's me. And although I didn't mention it at the beginning, I'm going to add a little bit of mustard to add an extra edge to this egg mayonnaise that's eventually going to accompany one of the jacket potatoes. So let's get on with that. So if you don't have an egg slicer, then just use a table knife, as I did in the past, and just slice the eggs up in a bowl and then mix that in with mayonnaise. But as you can see, this is a perfectly hard-boiled egg. Just going to put in some salt and pepper. Okay. Season to taste, of course. Now, one other thing some people do as well is, and this is all to do with taste, some people actually grate some cheddar cheese into their egg mayonnaise, and it is also delicious. So yeah, feel free. Okay, a little bit of mustard. And some mayonnaise. Not too much. It's quite common as well in the UK to have egg mayo with cress for a very mild flavour. But let me just finely chop up these chives. Okay, in the chives go. Now, the thing is, in the UK, people will often eat jacket potatoes for dinner, or some people will actually have it at lunch if it's served in a... It's quite commonly served in British cafeterias. That's the egg mayonnaise mixture done, and there you go. Now that the egg mayonnaise is finished, we're actually going to get along with making the tuna mayonnaise. And this is where I'm breaking a few rules, and this is where it might get a bit controversial. I personally prefer to make my tuna mayonnaise a bit more interesting by adding some raw onion. Just going to add this now into my flaked tuna. Okay. On one side, we're going to put in some mayonnaise. Okay. Try to make sure that it's better to put less mayonnaise at the beginning and then have the possibility of adding more. Because just like the egg mayonnaise, you don't really want to end up putting too much, otherwise you'll lose texture. Now, tuna is great, for me anyway. Plenty of black pepper. See if that's enough. Some salt. Adding some capers to this, if you have them as well, would be really, really nice. And that's it. That's the tuna mayonnaise made and ready to accompany the jacket potatoes. So the final thing we're going to prepare now is the grated cheese. And please, I would strongly recommend that you grate the cheese yourself and don't go out and buy already grated cheese. It's just not as fresh. It just doesn't taste good. It's just a little bit of extra work I'm asking you to do, but I promise it's definitely worth it. So we're just very simply going to grate the cheese. How much cheese do you need? If you're asking that question of how much cheese, then, well, I've got no words. So let's grate the cheese. Traditional way to prepare jacket potatoes is simply to cut across into the potatoes, like so, and then to do that, almost make the potatoes bloom, like so. Now we get some butter on top, like so. So this one will be the jacket potato topped with tuna. This one here will be topped with the egg mayonnaise. First we put some cheese. Then you want to push the cheese in. Like so. Beans will go on top. Now with this baked beans version of a jacket potato, what I would recommend, if you really want to take this to the next level, put this back in under the grill for about a few minutes and to melt the cheese, and then it'll be perfect. There we have it. Jacket potato avec tuna, jacket potato avec egg mayonnaise, and jacket potato avec beans and cheese. Which one of these do I try first? Let's go for the tuna. So let's tuck in. It did look nice once. Okay, so let's get some more tuna on that. So what you're getting is the butter and the buttery soft potatoes. Then you've got the strong tasting tuna with a bit of the onion that I put in. Delicious. Now the egg mayonnaise. Okay. Really creamy, really rich. The chive coming through. Also delicious. Now you will, in the UK, most commonly see this one, baked beans with grated cheese on top. So let's see how this one is. Oh, Yeah. Also really good. Cheddar is just cheddar. It's delicious. Baked beans. Completely different to the others because it doesn't contain mayonnaise, but also delicious. Which one of these is my favorite? Honestly, I couldn't tell you that. I love them equally as much, depending on the occasion. But for you guys at home, try each of these or a particular one of these yourselves and let me know in the comments which one of these is your favorites. Thank you so much for watching this. I really do appreciate your support, and I hope with time you and many other people will be convinced that British food is delicious and should be given a chance. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you very much. Bye bye.